Okay, so we're going to look at our last topic, which is religious expression. Okay, our key words for today are community, identity, faith, evangelism, and pilgrimage. I want you to take a couple of minutes out just to write down what those words mean. Okay, fantastic. Once you've written those words and you know what they all mean, then we'll move on. Okay, so the first thing I want to highlight is looking at how religious people express their religious beliefs. So, these are the different ways religious people express their own personal religious beliefs. Either by doing it with a community of believers, that's other believers, or doing it privately. They also express their belief and what they believe through the clothes that they wear, through symbols that they either use in the religious buildings or symbols that they put on them as jewelry or whatnot, going on a pilgrimage, or helping other people. Now these are all important because these are all the different ways that they show people their faith, what they believe, what they practice. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is missionary work. Now, what is missionary work? This is when a person, a group of people, go into an area, traditionally it's an area not in their country, and they help other people in poor countries. Now, there are two really important organizations that do this. They are called Christian Aid and Islamic Relief. I would like you to pause the video and go and do a quick Google search on these two organizations and look at some of the different things they do. Pause the video now. Okay, so I'm taking it you're back and you've paused the video and you went to do what I told you to do relating to Christian Aid and Islamic Relief. These are some of the things that they do. They train people in different countries. They provide clean water. They protest in countries so that people can sort of raise awareness, and people can give money to help promote the charity. And last but not least, in times of an emergency, they send relief. So whether that's food, clothing, shelter, medicine, whatever they can, they will gather some supplies and try and send it over to the place where there is an emergency. Now the reason why they do this is because they are taught to do so by the Bible and the Quran. These are the two quotes we're using from Christianity. Love your neighbors, you love yourself. And clearly if you love your neighbors, you love yourself, then it makes it clear as to what we have to do as religious people, as Christians have to do. And for the Quran it says, those who believe and do good works and establish, worship and pay the poor due, their reward is with their Lord. So again, you have to ask yourself, and I'm asking you, what do these quotes tell us about what religious people believe about missionary work, or about giving to the poor, or about helping others? How do these quotes, what part of these quotes imply what Christian attitudes are to giving and to charity work? Really important you have a look at Christian Aid and Islamic Relief. They are two organizations that help to relieve suffering, help to create peace, and help to give aid to the poor. The next topic we're going to look at is religious clothing. Now again, why do religious people wear clothing? Again, because they are instructed to by the Bible that they must dress in an appropriate way, and by the Quran. So I want you to look at the Christian quote on the left. It says, your beauty should not come from outward decoration. Instead, it should be that of your inner self. So we know here right now that in religion, Christians believe that we should look normal, we should dress appropriately. But actually that the focus of what we're doing is not what we're wearing, but who we are. So God focuses more on who we are than what we wear. Now in the Quran it is the same, that God does focus on the internal aspect of a human being. However, it is really important in the Quran as it tells them to guard their modesty, to dress appropriately, to dress respectfully. So they should guard their modesty and dress with dignity and respect, both for themselves and for God. So again, looking at some of the things that Christians wear and why. They don't have to wear religious clothing. They are under no obligation to wear religious clothing. They choose to wear whatever they want. They always wear religious clothing or religious jewelry to keep God in mind. So the whole purpose is not to be flash or to look cool, but it's to remember God. Sometimes you will have religious priests who will wear clothing like this. And the purpose of that is so you know their role in the faith. It's like an army sergeant. He looks different from his lieutenants. He looks different from his foot soldiers. So that you know that he is someone of authority in that religion, or someone of authority in the army, and someone that gives orders. And again, that's what the priests wear. And the reason why they wear that is so that we know they're a representative of God. Now, what clothes do Muslims wear and why? Muslim men and women must dress modestly. The women must cover their hair because their hair is seen as a symbol of purity, as a symbol of pureness. When they're about to pray, their clothes must be clean, and they must look respectful. And when they go on pilgrimage, they must wear all white. Now, when we go to religious symbols, you should be able to label and tell me what all these symbols are. I won't tell you which is which, but you have to work it out. One of them is a statue, one of them is a mihrab, one of them is a pulpit, one of them is a prayer mat, one of them is stained glass windows, and the other is calligraphy. Now, the two important ones here in Islam are the mihrab and calligraphy. The mihrab is always facing towards Mecca, the holy city, so they know which way they're praying, so they're always focused on God. And the calligraphy is written because they are not allowed to have pictures of God in their religious places, so they have writing from the Quran instead. In Christianity, they have statues of Jesus to help them remember Jesus when they're praying. And also they have stained glass windows which have pictures of the saints or really important religious people. And again, the whole emphasis of that is to help them remember these religious people while they're praying and to keep God in mind. The prayer mat is a really obvious one. It's there to keep Muslims clean as they pray to God. Now, this is a topic of evangelism. Okay, what are Christian attitudes to evangelism? If you do not know what it is, pause the video, go find it on Google, and come back. Now, have a look at these quotes. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And the other one, go into all the world and proclaim the gospel to the whole creation. Now, what's that telling Christians to do? Okay, and if you look at the Islamic one, people need to learn about their neighbors so that their ignorance doesn't breed fanaticism. So in the Quran, it's saying that they should go and learn about what and why. And a really important quote in the Quran is this one: those who are present, i.e. it's referring to the Muslims, should convey my message, and this is Allah speaking, to those who are not. So Muslims believe that it is their duty to do what? However, some people don't like the idea of evangelism because they feel as though religious people are up in their face and trying to push religion in the face. But that's not what it is all the time. People do it wrong, and people do it in an appropriate manner, but evangelism is meant to be a positive thing. However, some people would have alternative views to this because of their experience. Remember though, not all religious people go around shouting and screaming and trying to push religion in people's face. It's not something they do, and it's not something that they're told to do, but they are told to proclaim the gospel, and they're told to teach what God has taught. And pilgrimage. Now, this is when a person goes to a religious site or religious area, place, country, just to connect with God and to enrich their spiritual life. And pause the video, go onto Google and look for some more reasons why people go on pilgrimage. These are going to be really important because this is most likely to come up in the exam. It does so every single year. It brings them closer to God as well. It's one of the 5 pillars of Islam, one of the things Muslims must do. Now have a look at these quotes. The Quran is compulsory in Islam. Allah has ordained upon you the Hajj, which is another word for pilgrimage, so undertake it. You shall observe the complete rites of Hajj. Now in Christianity, they don't have to go on a pilgrimage. However, there is one quote in the Bible and it says this: very early in the morning while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house and went to a solitary place where he prayed. Now it's not a pilgrimage as such, but it is an opportunity for Jesus to go away by himself, quietly reflect and pray. Muslims do the same thing, but they do it in a bigger cohort, a bigger group. So although pilgrimage isn't taught in Christianity, the idea of it is actually quite present, but it's not compulsory, unlike in Islam. As usual, it's what's in your heart that matters, not what you wear. So that's got to do with clothing, and that's a really challenging question. So I want you to have a go at these. These are all 8-mark questions, and I would like you to answer these. You can bring them to myself, Miss Marlowe, Mr. Lugawa, Mr. Morgan, and we'll mark them for you. Hopefully you found this useful, and good luck. See you in the next video.